pride, oh, our born our game, oh,
My name is Imama Amapakabo. Keep listening to 99.3 Nigerian Info.
Our league in the bubble, it passes at the bull. Go to the stadium, watch television. Our league is a pride, oh, we go carry with ego. Nigeria league in a better league. The league in our pride, oh, our heart on our game, our son, our own, our league is the totally.
Welcome back to the broadcast. I really didn't want to interrupt this NPFL theme song. The lyrics are quite clear. It's like futuristic, but apparently to them, to the artists, it feels like it's already happening. And in all fairness, it's not. But the players happy. That one I agree. The league, na better league. Maybe. And our pride. I'm not certain also if it's our pride. In the Totori, our hearts may be the Totori. You know, so many contradictions in the song based on the reality on ground. But hey, if we don't talk about the professional football league, I'm not sure anyone will. All right, I'm still talking about the NPFL, so Maria until tunes. We're celebrating Rangers, but before we do, welcome back. I'm Emmanuel Latham. I've got Star B, Balaro Olajude in the studio, and also Onakosi, who happily hails from the coal city. That's where you're from?
Yeah, certainly.
Enugu State.
The home of the Rangers.
What part of Enugu again?
Yeah, in Suka, where you have the famous University of Nigeria.
Certainly not New Haven. That's where my uncle used to stay, by the way, and it was fun. Few visits to that city. But, you know, first, before we celebrate Rangers International, I'm just going to run through, before I run through the result, I should do it in particular order. You're tuning into Nigeria Info, by the way. This is Game 1, the nation's first news and talk. Sport Dow having the NPFL conversation now on the Nigeria Professional, emphasis on the P, Professional Football League. Enugu Rangers, just some days, about 24 hours, in a bid to stop the not too impressive run in the ongoing season, the management of the Flying Antelopes, Rangers International Football Club, sent some of its players to the B team. They also continue to source for quality attackers to beef up the squad. But this is the funniest part. All attackers in the team were placed on 40% less of their monthly salary until they improve on their scoring ability. And the man who made this clear is the general manager of the side, Davis Inouye, Prince Davis Inouye. Nigerians, we love titles, so I've got to mention that. He stated that the situation in the team currently led to the measure as to bring out the best from the players. I and Buchi had a conversation about this in the morning, and he went all gung-ho and verbally annihilated the Rangers team for their decision to place the players on 40% less of their wages. And you just, quickly fast forward 90 minutes, the Oriental Derby against FC Fayumba at the Cathedral. I'm going to start off with you, Ona. Rangers 3, FC Fayumba 1. Do you think it was the right decision first, before we talk about the results, the outcome of the game? Was it, till this very second, regardless of the outcome, my opinion, which doesn't really count now, is that it was very stupid of the Rangers management, and I use that word loosely, to place players who are supposedly contracted to the team on 40% less of their monthly salary. How do you just wake up and do that?
Yeah, I would think the same at first instance, that it looks and seems very unprofessional, the way that the Rangers management have decided to go about this. But then again, I have to point out the fact that I'm not privy to the details of the contracts that these players signed. I don't know if there's a clause attached to it that with a
The
certain level
details
of
such.
performance and a drop in the table could result in, salary deductions
I
and
like
all.
your angle.
So
It's a
but
possibility that might exist.
it's a possibility that might exist,
Yeah.
but beyond that, it seems as if this I would describe this as unprofessional.
Mhm.
And you also look at the fact that the whole club, the club is run as a whole. Those at the management level, the likes of Prince David Sinoumi,
Yeah.
as well, hasn't placed himself on a 40% salary because the club that he oversees is not performing well. So I don't know why certain players should bear the brunt of something. You could say it's something that has to do with the
A group.
club
Yeah.
as a group,
Yeah.
as a whole. So, let me just summarize again to be clear what I've just said, which is on face value, it seems unprofessional and not the right thing to do. But then again, there might be a clause in the contracts that could stipulate that with certain level of performance and a drop on the league table, certain measures could be taken, such as a 60% deduction of the players' wages. That aside, moving forward to the results,
Yeah.
that
The Oriental Derby, surprising actually.
yeah, it's a little bit surprising. But then again, a journey of 1,000 miles should start with one step.
Yeah.
It's not funny for the fans of the Flying Antelopes, where they find themselves bottom of the league table so far. They haven't left that position, but of course, if you hope to start doing that, then you have to start gathering the points, and that's exactly what they did against FC Ufayoba. And as someone who loves the club, I hope they can build on from there towards higher results. Where Rangers are currently on the table, it's not where we want to see them, and it's certainly not a club. The stature of Rangers International should be languishing bottom of the table is unacceptable.
It's interesting because their nickname Flying Antelopes, and you find yourself bottom. It means you have absolutely no wings. But Ibrahim Olawoyin, Kenechukwu Ago, Ibrahim got a brace in that game in the 19th and 68th minute, just getting confirmation again via the LMC to the handle. Kenechukwu Ago, 81st minute, while Ekene Awaze scored the consolation for FC Ifeanyi. Other results, MFM defeated Dakada here in Lagos 1-0. Sunshine Stars and Akure defeated Jigawa Golden Stars by 2-0. Adamawa, wow, lost. Lobi Stars. Sometimes names work for you. Lobi defeating Adamawa away from home, 0-1. That's pretty much what we can confirm. And I didn't see that coming, in all fairness. Actually, thought it was going to be quite a fixture for Lobi Stars. But, when that opportunity came at the 50th minute, one of the top performers in the MPFL this season, Ezekiel Tamara, ensured that Lobi were going to take maximum points. Other results, Rivers United 1-0 against Nasarawa United. Wolves from Wari defeated Heartland 1-0. Abia Warriors and Kano Pillars played out a goalless draw. Katsina defeated Plateau United 1-0. And Aqua United, keep an eye on this team. I keep saying it. It might just be the year where they end up as champions of the Professional Football League. But let's get your reaction following the outcomes. Any surprise results? Aqua United 1-0 against Wiki. Katsina 1-0 against Plateau. Warriors and Pillars goalless. Wolves 1-0 against Heartland. Rivers beating Nasarawa. Adamawa losing at home against Lobi Stars. Sunshine Stars beating Jigawa. MFM here in Lagos beating Dakada. And Rangers, despite the 40% deduction, beating FC Ifeanyi by 3-1.
Well, the surprise result, normally should be Lobi Stars winning away.
Yeah.
And that's the only away result, or away, result.
It's a big deal in the MPFL.
Yeah, away win this match week, which is a big deal.
That is.
But when you look at the placement of these clubs in the NPFL table, then it shouldn't be a surprise. Lobi are second, Adamawa are struggling.
They're 19th.
in the bottom part of the table, so maybe it should happen. But like you said, no matter where you are placed in the NPFL, it's always a problem for you to win away. And I was speaking with a close friend, somebody that normally travels to watch these games, and he was trying to explain to me some of the things that happen in these match centers. And for the sake of also educating the listeners, I should also say it. There was a game like that Plateau had to win, and I was tracking that game for some reasons, and in the last minute, almost like the last kick of the game, they won 1-0. And I was like, how did they get to win in the last minutes? When you hear, you see additional time of 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes, why wouldn't they win? It's just like, or it seems like they want to find a way to win by all means. That's why they get these additional time to get a goal at least. And he explained to me, he said, trust me, you don't even blame the officials when they give up to 10 minutes in football matches. And this is why. He said when you go to an away center, the away side always, most times, will waste all the time in the world during the game. You see them going down unnecessarily. You see them crying foul. They disrupt the game. How will you not justify adding 12 minutes after the normal time is up? And he said these things happen regularly. There's a particular club that he also mentioned saying they have a keeper that plays only away matches. And the tactic is clear. Waste as much time as you can so we can at least get a point.
Which is crucial.
It's crucial. But at the end of the day, the referee will stop his watch and has to give back that time. So you see the games extending, and it will always give advantage in the end to the home side, because there's nothing you will do. The referee has to complete the full 45 minutes. And how can you play a football match of 20 minutes when it's supposed to be a standard 45 minutes? Because you guys waste too much time. So I got to understand why these things happen when it comes to the NPFL, and hopefully these guys can be educated, be enlightened. No matter how much you try to waste time, it really doesn't matter. If you will win, you will win. If you will draw, you will draw. And if you are destined to lose, you will lose. If you're playing against a better side, we see upsets, but a better side will be a better side, and home advantage is more crucial than any league in the world in Nigeria.
I agree.
Because it's their cash cow to stay in the league. If you win all your home matches, or at least win 15 of your home matches, draw 3, you will stay in the NPFL. And that's the target. The big ones, the big teams want to win the league, definitely. But most importantly, they want to stay in the league. And that's why it's very important for them to win at home. So, not so surprised with that result. Lobby Stars are flying high.
They're second on the table.
And not so long ago, people keep saying that they were never champions. Remember when the league...
They're like Tyson Fury, who's a linear
champion. The league had to be stopped. They were on top then, and they were awarded
that
that
LMC
prize.
never called them champions. They were more like representatives on the continent.
Or winners, as at that time. So, Adamawa can continue to struggle. I don't think they're going to survive the drop this season. But, Lobby Stars, I really doff my hat to them. And, of course, tabletoppers, Part United, they need to be mentioned as well.
All right, we're live on Facebook, by the way, and it's the conversation that would spill into the African Cup of Nations and the awards that went down on Tuesday night. But just before we do, we're still talking about football here in Nigeria. Enyimba, unarguably, I say this with all sense of modesty, are the biggest team in Nigeria. Sometimes I exaggerate and say they're the biggest on the African continent, and when I see teams like Tupusa, Mazembe, Alakli, just tend to car. But the biggest story this week has been from Enyimba, the decision to part ways with coach Usman Abdallah. After a string of disappointing results, the club believes it must set a new course and regain, that's the word, its competitive edge domestically and on the continent. Enyimba are 8-time league champions, and our correspondent Bumi Ble had a conversation with the Enyimba chairman Felix Ayasiago. If you've missed out on the conversation, I'm going to play back his interview. He was a bit reluctant, refused to go into the conversation, but trust Bumi and his craft in terms of asking questions. So first we'll play his statement, Felix Ayasiago, on Enyimba's decision to relieve Usman Abdallah as coach of the club side and why they had to do it. Didn't really say much, but I'm sure you could get one or two things from it.
Chiefs are also maybe resign and move ahead and stuff. It's not something that I will come and start explaining to everyone. It doesn't. When we put up that there are also some privacy. It's a regular thing. It happens here and there. It's not something that does not happen.
So there you go, Felix Ayasiago, Enyimba, club chairman, talking about how it's not something new that they had to relieve the man, blah blah. Okay, I won't say that, Chief Baharam. Okay, you're not saying blah blah, but basically, he was a bit reluctant to give out that information. And when Bumi put a call through to Usman Abdallah concerning the sack, well, he was a bit coy in his response, but mentioned how it's not been all rosy being coach of Enyimba International. Here's the no longer coach Enyimba International, Usman Abdallah.
This thing is becoming a little bit complicated, and there is a lot of misunderstanding, and affecting the team, is affecting the result. They a little bit. I've been reading many things about what some people are just assuming and writing it.
Well, it's based on assumption, he says. And it was very strange to see Aimba. I put up the tweet on my timeline, something about Aimba first declaring Usman Abdallah sacked, and minutes later, that particular tweet they put up, they had to delete it. And eventually, after they put up a new tweet simply because the chairman wasn't entirely pleased with the first communication that was released that Abdallah was sacked. They wanted a more decent ceremony for him to say, and it's better to resign than to get fired. But now the man who's in charge of AIMA International,
I wonder the difference.
There's a huge difference. Some say it just keeps your reputation intact. You don't have the job though, but you know you're left on your own terms. Basically. Well, Fatawa Show is the new coach of AIMA International. What exactly is the club's expectation? Here's Chairman Felix Arago on the new man.
We are giving him that responsibility. Let us also support him to do it well.
Yeah, that was very short. So we're just giving him the responsibility to do it well. So we wish the team all the best. I run through, appreciate the comments coming through on Facebook. I'll take as many as I can. So here are your top 4 teams in the NPFL: Plateau United, Lobby Stars, Rivers United, and Aqua United. The bottom 3, Jigawa Golden Stars, Adamawa United, and Honors Enugu Rangers. Is this the season Rangers play in the Nigerian National League? I know Bizenas is saying waka to me. Yeah, it's possible. If Heartland can go down, Rangers can go down, but never will AIMA International play in the Nigerian National League. So that's it. For fans of the NPFL, rest assured there's much information we can garner from this beautiful league of ours. So we'll continue to share on Nigeria info. But first, let's just celebrate, undoubtedly, the best player on the African continent. And we'll do it with music. I'm sure he's party to Yusundos Bajan. When we return, it's going to be all things CAF Awards 2019 on the broadcast. And yes, you can join the conversation on Facebook, Nigeria Space Info 99.3. We also have someone who's walked into the studio who's also going to be part of the conversation.
Been struggling in French or English, by the way. To be honest, I would love to play football more. I will love more to play football than be in front of the many important people to speak, because yeah, football is my job. I love it. So, but speech is not mine. By the way. Good evening, everybody. Well, I'm really happy, and same time I'm really proud to win this award. And yeah, I would like to thank my family, especially my uncle Sanature is here today with Nyaga. And by the way, without forgetting all the Egyptian people, by the way. And as well, my coach is here today, Alusite, my teammate, national team, and the staff, the federation, and yeah, Liverpool Football Club, my teammate, and the staff, everybody. And again, it's a big day for me. I don't know how to say, but I would love to thank all the Senegalese people. They've been for me all the time. They push me, and same time my village. I'm really coming very very far. Very small village, Bambali. I'm sure they're watching me on TV.
Well, what more can I say? So much happiness. It's what you can choke off, and you wouldn't feel sad about it. Congratulations again to Senegalese Sadio Mane, who's been named the Confederation of African Football Player of the Year. The Liverpool forward beats teammate and Egyptian Mohamed Salah and City's Algerian winger Riyad Mahrez to the award. Mane is 27, and he was pivotal as Liverpool went in to be champions of the UEFA competition 2018-19 season. He scored 30 goals in all competitions, and just going to begin first by introducing the man who's joined in the broadcast, Ayo Alabi. Certainly not his first time on the show. Ayo, good evening to you.
Good evening, Mando. Good evening, guys.
Yeah.
Good to be back.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you and to our listeners as well.
Great stuff. I want to start off with you first. Many would say no controversies. It was as open as the air we breathe, even if we can't see it. But basically, easiest choice for CAF to make. Mane as Player of the Year.
Yeah, well deserved.
Yeah.
I thought it was head and shoulders above everyone else. And the problem is, in Africa, we tend to kind of sometimes want to use the star player of the African Nations Cup to determine the best player in Africa for that year. Which, I mean, it's a fair point if you don't have someone else who is successful anywhere else. But Mane in particular had a wonderful Nations Cup, even though he didn't win it. Mahrez won it. Yeah. But his performances for Liverpool from January to December, absolutely stellar. It's well deserved. Best player in Africa by a considerable distance.
Yeah, I think he's a great sports baller. In 2016, he was third. It was a battle between himself, Aubameyang, and Riyad Mahrez. No, it was Mahrez who won in 2016. And in 2017, Mo Salah came. He always attended the events. And when it was time for him to be crowned King of Africa, well, Mahrez has an excuse. He was going to beat Manchester City, beat United.
He said he was busy scoring.
He was busy scoring. I saw the tweet. And it was very funny. It was light, but Mo Salah, no reason why he couldn't turn up.
Well, Mo Salah, I'm still not sure because I remember just a day before the event, I'm like, why would Salah not want to go back to his country to, grace the occasion and possibly win it? Because as at then, we didn't know who was going to come out top.
It was all speculation.
It was all speculation and guesses and stuff. In the end, Mane got it, which is not a surprise, actually, to most people. But I beg to differ when it comes to Mane winning it. No doubt, whoever make the final shortlist deserves it and has a chance to win. But I'm still trying to understand how CAF or the people who voted somehow overlooked the Nations Cup. The Nations Cup has always played a huge role when it comes to knowing or deciding who is the best in Africa. And Riyad Mahrez, forget what he even did at Manchester City. Let's come back to the Nations Cup where they hadn't won it since 1990. He was why they won it. Stellar performances in the knockout phases, especially
against Nigeria.
His goal actually won the goal of the year. And they went into the final and still won it. And he was captain. So how do you overlook the Nations Cup triumph of Riyad Mahrez? Salah also had a good year. But in the end, they both had successes for their respective clubs. And the two played in the final. And Mahrez came out top. Yeah, Mahrez didn't score. Mane didn't score. But yeah, they represented their teams in the final and one came out top. So how do you justify that ahead of Mahrez? Well, Mane has won it. I have no grudges about that. But I keep saying Mahrez may just have had a better chance to win it because of the fact that a Nations Cup was played in the year in review.
Yeah, well, I think it's a bit, very odd to hear anyone criticize Sadio Mane. Even the devil, for once, would not want to contest against this. But Bola makes a great point. The African Cup of Nations, particularly when the award is considered in that year in review. In 2019, the AFCON was the biggest tournament on the continent, but individually at AFCON 2019, I'm sure you saw the entirety of that tournament. Was Mahrez better than Sadio?
Oh, well, I love you, Bolaringwa, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to disagree with you and lean more towards Aya on this one. And to you, Emmanuel, I think there's an award for the best player at the AFCON Championship. And that award says Best African Player in the space of 2019, not just limited to the Nations Cup. So I think if you look at the achievements of Sadio Mane, won the Champions League with Liverpool, just came 2 points shy of winning the Premier League also with Liverpool, and took, part of the Senegal team that got to the final as well, and not forgetting coming 4th and 5th in the Ballon d'Or and FIFA Best Awards respectively.
Sure.
You'd understand why it's given to him. Remember also that Riyad Mahrez won a lot of titles with Manchester City, but as a beat part player. He's more of a squad player at City compared to Mane,
superstar,
who's a superstar.
This is where I
for
disagree
Liverpool.
with you. Sorry to cut you. This is where I disagree. You can't say Mahrez is a beat part player. At the end of the day, he played his part. We know how blessed Manchester City are. Even some of the regulars didn't play as many minutes as they would like at Manchester City. It just shows you how much quality they have in the squad. So I always want to nullify what they did for their respective clubs. Mahrez, we can argue from morning till night. Mahrez won FA Cup, Premier League and League Cup. Mane won the Champions League and top scorer in the Premier League. So let's bring them to their respective countries. Who was the better player? Clearly Riyad Mahrez.
I'm not certain if it's clear. And, when we talk about beat part players, regardless of the team you play, no matter how galactical-like the team is, there would always be players who will be peripheral. And as great as Mahrez is, he's not in the class of David Silva, Kun Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne, and Raheem Sterling. Those are what you call super.
I also disagree with that.
What I'm saying is, compare.
Whatever David Silva can do, I'm sure Mahrez can do. Whatever he can do, Mahrez can do. And this is why.
Is that blasphemy or what?
No, it's not. Let me give you an example.
David Silva is one of the greatest players that played in the Premier League.
What has David Silva done on the field that Riyad Mahrez hasn't done? Free kicks, Mahrez is even a better free kick taker. Dribbles, runs, causing problems, creating chances. I mean,
please, let's not
they can do almost the same thing. I'm serious. I'm not even trying to be blasphemous here.
I apologize to David Silva. I
apologize to him as well.
I apologize to Mahrez.
I like Riyad Mahrez.
Because you guys underestimate him a lot.
I think Mahrez is a brilliant player. What he did at Leicester is great, but at City, his influence can't be compared to Sadio Mane's at Liverpool.
Sure, and Mane wasn't given anything on a platter. It's not as if he
walked his socks off.
Exactly. To be the first choice for Jurgen Klopp, no less.
The consistency, you're looking at Mane eventually selecting. We'll head to the phone lines. They've been buzzing crazy. Is from, like I mentioned, this is key, and that's how you look at someone's progress and consistency. From 2016, he finished 3rd, 2017 2nd, 2018 2nd, and 2019 1st. It was always happening. It was gonna happen for him.
It was gonna happen, and besides, what Bola is talking about. Mahrez winning the league. He didn't win it alone, remember? It's not only him that won it. And I know Mane didn't win the Champions League.
Someone was going to say that.
So, obviously, they didn't win it. That's not an individual award. But who contributed more towards their team success and towards their country's success? Looking at him, Riyad Mahrez didn't start playing until about 8 games to the end of the season. It was a bench. It wasn't even a squad player. It was a bench player.
But he came on during games and made an impact.
Yeah, but Mane made an impact right from the first game of the season till the very last game of the season. And yes, he didn't win the league. He won the Champions League. He was brilliant in the Champions League.
What about the Nations Cup?
Riyad Mahrez was bang average in the Champions League.
We can argue all day long about their club performances.
It's got more goals
what about the Nations Cup?
About the Nations Cup itself, I think that goal
against Nigeria
has given you a headache, but because that's what has beclouded our judgment in terms of.
Like I mentioned,
it was very important that he scored that free kick.
First of all, it wasn't a great free kick. I know it won the goal of the year, whatever it is. That's a goalkeeping error. When you
I don't think Akpe would have saved it anyway
because he's a shocking goalkeeper himself.
Since when?
If the free kick is on your side, then
you don't have to stay behind the wall.
Yes. So you're here, the wall is there. If he goes above the wall, top corner, bang, hold your hands up.
Yeah.
But when he's to the gokeeper side,
you give yourself a good chance when you don't stay behind the wall.
So he should actually have saved that free kick. So but you're talking about him having a stellar competition. I don't think he did.
Yeah, he wasn't even the best player of the
It wasn't even, Benaka or whatever it was.
Yusuf Belali was better. Even back then, Bunisha, who was the top
so
striker,
he wasn't.
They had better players in the Algerian side.
You guys are rude to Mahrez.
Like Ayo mentioned, which is the key thing, that free kick against Nigeria simply just enveloped how awful Mahrez was at AFCON 2019. Go back, play every single tape.
You say Mahrez was awful at the Nations Cup.
And I use that word, awful, and I know the exact meaning. aside from that,
Do you know what it means for Mahrez to
completely
even be in the
ordinary.
starting 11? That's
Completely
already
ordinary.
you
Sadio Mane missed the
you've
first
lost
game
in your
of
head.
Senegal's contest. He came in and it was obvious that the Teranga Lions. Anyways,
See, let me quickly say
I
something
don't
before
think
you
anyone
leave it.
in Africa in
We'll argue.
2019
We'll argue.
would debate Mane
Don't
as
say
the best
anyone because
Except
Except
Bolario.
Bolario.
no.
Yeah.
Even the Algerians believe
even
the Algerians
even
believe they should have won.
Mahrez is excited.
No,
that Mane
it's
won
not.
it.
It's not. It was just trying to be political. I saw his tweet where he said,
We'll head to the
"Yeah,
four lines
I'm
now.
trying to win the 2020 edition, and I'm
Which he
fine. I'm
wouldn't get,
scoring goals."
unfortunately, because Mane would be Premier League champion.
You've seen
and
the
he would go
future.
on.
You know what's a
Oh,
little
certainly.
bit
The
more...
moment Mane wins the Player of the Year in England, if Liverpool go on to be champions, God forbid he gets injured, he would be the best player in the Premier League.
Now you're talking about winning trophies.
No, I'm talking about 2020 now. I'm talking if Liverpool go on to win. Mane has
So
outperformed.
irrespective,
Currently, Mane has outperformed Mahrez, even in this calendar year 2019, 2020.
no, 2020 just started.
That's what I'm saying. Even in these few games into the season, Mane has outperformed.
Mahrez just scored last night. A beautiful goal against
Mahrez was winning
bitter
the award.
rivals.
You know what's
bitter
even...
rivals United.
The Mickey Mouse competition.
It's not Mickey Mouse. It's
Mickey
important.
Mouse.
You know
It's
what's-
very
Okay,
You know
let's
what's
say it's Mickey Mouse. This is against Manchester United.
That has
Doesn't
Rashford as
matter.
captain.
You know what's even...
I need to head to the 4 lines, but go ahead, Honor.
What's even more scandalous about the argument is that
I like that
Mahrez
word.
Scandalous.
It's not scandalous.
Is third, not even second.
These are facts.
According
Yeah,
to the
Mahrez-
These are
He came in
facts.
third, by the
He
way,
came in
yes.
third, not even
These are
second.
facts. See,
All right.
Salah was second.
We'll
Mane
head to
was-
the 4 lines now.
At times, we look at these award ceremonies and we're like, okay, maybe this should have been, this should have not. But I'm just looking at the Nations Cup factor. Yeah, I understand the argument. Mane, fantastic player, what he's done for Liverpool, and always there, top three. And of course, when you look at Mane, when it comes to the world stage, he was actually in the final top 5 or top 4. So it's definitely an advantage over Mahrez. But the factor that I'm looking at is the Nations Cup. Mahrez was the captain of Algeria and they won the Nations Cup. So how do that not play a role, or how do you overlook that? It should also impact or influence who gets to win it. And somehow a Nations Cup winner didn't win the best player in Africa. It's a shocking decision by CAF.
Apologies. I'm sure you heard the CAF president present the award with smiles on his face. Let's head straight into the market. Pay bill less than 60 seconds. We'll be back and straight to the phone lines and entertain your comments on Facebook. Keep them coming through.
You might have heard.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Game on live for Nigeria Info World. As we head to the phone lines, keep in mind that this is the best player on the continent, women's football.
Super Falcons players profile. Asisa Lamina Oshola, born 9th of October 1994. The 24-year-old plays as a forward for Spanish side FC Barcelona and was the highest goal scorer at the 2014 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Aside from being named BBC Women Footballer of the Year in 2015, Oshola is a 3-time African Women's Footballer of the Year. In September 2014, the former Liverpool, Arsenal ladies, and Dalian Kwanjian striker was made a member of the Order of Niger MON by President of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan. Fans of the Super Falcons will be hoping the best of Asisa Oshola is brought to life during the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup.
Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
African Player of the Year 2019, Sadio Mane.
Le meilleur joueur, Sadio Mane.
Yeah, s'il vous plaît. Yeah, that was what Eto was doing last night. S'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît. Welcome back to the broadcast. Emmanuel Team on Akosi, Bolaro Olajide, and Ayo Alabi in the studio. We're live on Facebook, and we're heading to the phone lines to get a feel of our conversation. Bola is it's a strange fellow tonight who I believe is in the calendar year under review. Any player who's got hair under his nogs and who uses the loo can compare to Sadio Mane. Let's hear from you guys. Joining the conversation. Turn down the volume of your radio set, as I love to say, so we can have a fine conversation. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Manuel.
I'm not surprised you called first. Welcome.
Yeah, this is Friday from Igweleri.
Go ahead, Friday.
Emmanuel, I'm surprised at Ebola. The year Nigeria won the nation call when Mikel was our standing player in that tournament. And I can still believe that same year, Chelsea won the Europa Cup.
Yeah, 2012, yes.
Mikel was not given the Africa Player of the Year.
I think he went to Katongo or so.
He went to
Yaya Toure.
He went to Yaya Toure.
Someone
And 2016, when Aubameyang won the Africa Player of the Year, Aubameyang did not win anything with Dortmund.
True.
Cameroon won the Nation Cup.
True.
The Danish Cameroon player.
See, Friday, before you go forward, stop making instances. It doesn't mean listen. It doesn't mean that each year they always give it to a Nations Cup winner. We've seen it for the World Cup as well. Cannavaro, Modric won it ahead of other players, but it should at least be a factor, which CAF didn't do. So get the point.
But it did not just start today.
That's what I'm saying.
So if he did not start in the time of
shouldn't start with Sadio Mane. I feel you.
Sadio Mane has started in 2014.
I agree.
So that is the truth. We should all plan for money. Liverpool has made it well. Because of Liverpool, it's where he is today.
I agree. Thank you so much. Aya, you were going to say something?
What's Bolarin actually saying? He said it's not been factored in. If he wasn't factored in, he wouldn't even be top 3. He'll probably be 15th. Do you know what I mean?
I think 21st, actually.
So if he's been factored in, I'm sure that's why he was second or third or whatever it was.
If it was Belaili or Budabos, then you know it's going to be a straightforward winner. The best person to represent a Nations Cup winner.
As the captain, right?
Has to be the captain.
Right, fair enough then. Hello, good evening. Hi.
Emmanuel.
Yes.
Hi, good evening.
A drunken master today.
Good evening.
Well, great.
Jonathan is my name.
Welcome, Jonathan.
Now, I personally will not be interested in the male category. The way you guys analyze the male category, I want you guys to analyze the female category. So that
step by step
to win that category.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about that too. We will.
Yes, I'm listening. I want you to analyze that.
Man, no concern.
I'm also feeling
the Cameroon
is not supposed to win that
category. I feel you too. All right, thank you so much. Keep listening on it. That's something you have to talk about in a bit. Who you thought should have gotten the award if not Aziza. I thought it should have gone to Njara Achut, the Cameroonian, not Aziza, but again, she has the award. We celebrate her. Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Welcome. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Paul from Ikorodu.
Welcome, Paul. Go ahead, please.
Yes, when I heard that Sadio Mane won this African Cup this
Player of the Year.
Player of the Year for AFCON, also for Africa.
Yes.
In fact, I leapt for joy because I'm a man for Sadio Mane any day, anytime.
I know.
Yes, I'm a man. You can't keep Sadio Mane one side, Mahrez one side.
No way.
No, the difference is clear.
It's clear.
The difference is clear. Thank you so much for the argument. Thank you so much for 99.3.
Oh, shit.
Thank you.
You are my station.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great evening. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Dr.
Yeah.
Good evening.
This is Ifeanyi from Tulu.
All right, Ifeanyi, go ahead.
I think that Mane deserves that award. I don't understand where Bola is coming from.
Please try to understand.
I don't understand.
Mane deserves it. I'll say it again. But Mahrez could have also won it easily.
Well, I see. Mahrez, for that, if it's not because of Akbe, we would have been out of that.
Please leave Akbe out of this.
Akbe is Kaizer Chiefs' #1 goalkeeper. Respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a goalkeeper like Allison, Bravo. I think that is easy free kick to catch. Yeah. And I think being in top 3 should be honor for him. For me, I think he doesn't deserve it. I will give Aubameyang could have been there before him.
All right. Thank you so much for calling.
Fair point.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Simon.
Welcome.
Yeah. Bola, take a trip. This is Abraham from Lekki.
All right,
Hi, Abraham.
Yeah. One thing I want to correct is this. I hate when people say, when they make excuse for Mahrez for not starting in Man City because they have stars or they have stuff. No. Mane will come to that team and bench everybody. If you cannot put Sterling on the bench.
That's a total lie. We'll bench everybody at City. Like say you don't know Pep.
Who? Those Man City players.
It's not like he won't play, but trust me, he's going to fight for a place to start.
No.
Sane may start ahead of Mane. Sane may start ahead of Mane.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
But the truth, I'm very happy. As in hearing the news yesterday, I was very, very happy for Mane. It deserves it. Seriously. Even in the Nations Cup, he played better than Mahrez. I don't know.
Individually, yes. He
he scored 3 goals, I think. 3 or 4 goals.
He was a better player.
He was even a better player.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. I don't know where Bola is coming from.
We don't know too. I was squeezing two
coming
more
from
calls
all years.
and take some comments on Facebook and Twitter. Hello, good evening.
Emmanuel.
Babari.
I beg Babari the line.
Baba. Sir. Sir.
I beg you, you fail this season.
Come on, now so the hustle be.
Mahrez go take am from Sadio Mane. Abba, waiting. Even ask your colleague there. Maybe since November, I don't tell her. Say, nobody. Even the brother for Egypt, like enough collect them this year. And true. Prediction.
Yeah.
Money. Carry the day. So I beg.
Okay.
Accept the reality.
Thank you so much, Babari, for calling. Always a pleasure. Semi-final caller for now. Hello.
Semi-final.
Yeah. As the Scousers like to sound. Are you there? Says a Riyad Mahrez fan. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome. What's your name, sir?
Peter Mohammed, first caller.
First time caller. Welcome.
Please, I want to speak on this
Mane
and
Riyad.
Yes. You cannot compare Riyad with the Mane at all. I'm not a football fan.
Okay.
Mane deserves to win that distance. He deserves to win it. Because the way you people talk in the Nigeria, I know most of you are a Guardiola fan. It's not done. When somebody wants something, you have to appreciate that person. Look at the way the boy plays. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm not a Man City fan. There are a fact. You have to speak the fact, not just beating around the old bush. It's true.
Okay.
Mane has won it. It has won it. Final.
No doubt about that. Speaking of final caller for now. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. This is Kennedy from Oba.
Welcome, Kennedy.
Okay, I go for Bola.
Yeah, thank you.
Strange.
You're seeing my reasons.
Yeah, so Mahrez is the man.
Riyad.
Check out his contributions. Then it was wonderful at the Nations Cup. So
yes.
Go with you.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
I'm not sure why that's my final caller for now, but anyways, let's
good way to end that topic.
Fair enough. Someone strangely, by the way, is agreeing with
not
you.
Strange. It's not strange.
On Twitter, Fabian Mars says, Star B, that is Bolariwa, is spot on. How do you judge African best without putting the AFCON as the major criteria? It's crazy for me because Mane never contributed anything spectacular to Senegal. Fabian, apparently, as your surname says Mars, I think you were stalking Mars when the AFCON was going down on the continent. Africa, I would always get it wrong. It's your opinion, so I apologize for saying that. But no, come on, man. Don't disrespect Mane. Kinsley, Memeri Miku. Surname is powerful. Says Twale to you, Nigerian info. I was glad to hear Mane win the Best Player Award in Africa. Yes, Mahrez tried, but not as impactful as Mane, whose immense contributions won the Champions League, got to the final of AFCON, runner-up in the Premier League. He played almost all games in the Premier League, but not same as Riyad Mahrez. Abum Charles just sent this one in at Nigerian 4FM. Says Mane and Mahrez no be mates now. If they had given the prize to Mahrez, he would have returned the prize to Mane.
So.
I feel you, man. You deserve a retweet. And I'll give you a retweet for saying that. Gigi says, good evening, guys. I love you guys when you argue. It's always fun, but I think Bola is a bit right with the little Mahrez standpoint. With the little Mahrez did. He deserves a bit of it, but Mane deserves it. Now you're contradicting yourself. Who deserves it?
No, we're actually saying the same thing with Gigi and I. See, if you get to the final shortlist, you must have done something special. So at the end of the day, it's down to votes. And I also saw something that Fabian Mars said when he said it's more like a popularity contest. So you can make a case for all of them doing well for their respective clubs and country. But at the end of the day, it's down to the votes. And most times, you know, when it comes to votes, well, they always say majority carries the vote, but it doesn't mean that they are right with the number of people who voted for who in that category. And like you said, I'm even more surprised that Mahrez came in third behind Salah.
Oh, he did. Honor, let's talk about the women's player before we go on a quick break. Just going to flick through. The caller called in, so we just need to help him out. First, straightforward question. Does she deserve it? Azizat Oshoala?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because she didn't do well enough for me compared to the lady from Cameroon,
Ajaran Chut,
who did pretty well in the World Cup for Cameroon. Remember in that incredible goal that was nominated for the Pushkash Awards.
Goal of the year.
Goal of the year. So, all in all, I think Azizat won it because of pedigree and not as a result of what she was able to achieve in the year under review. So, I know I've said a lot, but just to point out
you again,
she doesn't deserve it. I don't think Azizat deserves
it. I did a piece profiling the players, the contenders. As I mentioned, I think it's the only category of award, and slightly the one that went to Hakimi, the young player of the year. I thought it was going to go to Victor Osimhen, but Ashraf did brilliant for his former team. Seeing her win it, as a Nigerian, was super excited. But look at the feat achieved by the Cameroonian, first African female footballer nominated. I beg your pardon, for the Pushkas Award. 2 goals at the FIFA World Cup, 1 World Cup Player of the Match. She won that, lifted Cameroon to the final round. 2020 Olympic qualifier, scoring the winner in the 3rd round and penultimate round. Joint top scorer for club, 11 goals in 22 appearances. And Valerenga, first ever UEFA Women's Champions League berth. Top setting team of the year 2019, Norwegian League runner-up, Norwegian Cup runner-up. For Azizat, under the year in review, she scored a goal at the FIFA World Cup, first African to play and score. We'd always remember that in the UEFA Champions League final. They got decimated, by the way, but she scored. She won the Copa Catalunya champion, UEFA Women's Champions League runner-up, Spanish League runner-up, Spanish Cup semi-finalist, 15 goals and 19 appearances for club in 2019. There are more bullets to detail Ajaran Chut's success in 2019 than Azizat. I couldn't get much for Tebin Gatlana, who obviously was not going to retain her crown as the queen of African football.
Well, for me, like I was telling you before we started, I actually I can't mention where the information came from.
No, you shouldn't.
But it was actually leaked that Mane would win it and Oshoala will win it. People were like, it's not possible for Oshoala to win it. I didn't want to believe, but because of where it was coming from, like, okay, these guys are credible and they should know where it's going in the end. But yeah, I would say I was surprised and not surprised at the same time.
Okay.
Like you said, Valerenga in Norway is not a small club.
No.
And this woman or lady had a very good year for Cameroon. And just like Honor said, goal of the year contender, beautiful goal against Australia, if I'm not mistaken.
It was a wonderful goal, yeah.
And, you look at the overall year, even for his club, Valerenga, she should be in pole position to win. Okay, I keep saying, oh dear. Her club, it was all looking good for her, and people wouldn't even argue when you say Ajara could win it. But like
she won all the polls.
Yeah, exactly. But like Honor also said, and why I actually believe that leak was Oshoala plays for one of the biggest clubs in the world, and it actually played a huge factor in getting her the gong for 2019. Remember that when she went to China, she lost that award to Kaglana, who also made the final 3 for this year.
Yeah, she did.
So it plays a part. And you look at Kaglana, who plays in China, Phoenix FC. You look at Oshoala, Barcelona. Then you look at the nation Nigeria. And you also look at the last country that won the Nations Cup for women, still Nigeria. I think all these things played a part. And let's all remember that there were people out there who voted. So Oshoala is quite a popular figure, way better than Ajara, and I think it played a huge part. So I'm surprised, but not so surprised because of the circumstances surrounding it.
All right, Morocco right back, Ashraf Hakimi, who's 21, was the winner of the Youth Player of the Year, beat 2 Nigerians, Victor Osimhen and Samuel Chukwueze. Ayo, not surprising.
I thought that was a disgraceful award for the night. It was an absolute shambles. People didn't even know this geezer. They didn't even know him. I thought it was the most ridiculous thing of the night.
It became obvious, sorry, I'm interjecting, when the first pictures from Cairo came through CAF official website, CAF Online, and it was Hakimi, the mom, and his younger sister.
Already there.
I was appointed that this guy's taking it home. I'm sure.
How?
Yeah.
Came with his family.
He came
How
with family,
did
yes.
bleeding hell
Yeah,
did
he did.
Victor Osimhen not win that award?
Well, the question is
For the 2019 is hard.
Why
Just
not
for his
Hakimi?
club even alone.
Yeah.
Question is, why not Hakimi? Let's compare this to
players,
that.
yeah.
Well, the question is, why not Osimhen?
Yeah, let's compare.
No
Let's
one is
compare.
even talking about Chukwueze now. It was between Osimhen
and this dude.
and Hakimi.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, the
This
guys
dude.
done really well. Over 30 appearances
Borussia
for Borussia
Dortmund. Top
Dortmund.
team.
Has scored 6 goals
Compared
from
to
defense.
Lille, yeah.
Yeah, and
6 goals.
6 goals, 6 assists from fullback position. Is the Arab young player of the year. And
Yeah,
he's
that's
the
for the
holder
Arabs.
Yeah,
as
that's for
well.
the Arabs.
So, I mean, I don't know, but I don't think it's right that we're sounding very dismissive of
No.
Ashraf
What
for the
was
way
it
that-
for me? I'm not.
Afterwards, a disgrace.
I'm not underrating what is done, but this is how I see it.
Yeah.
Victor Osimhen, for me, is the hottest striker in the world as
Where
we
is
speak.
the stats to back this up?
Well,
No, the
I'm
goals
going there.
he
I'm
scored in
going
the
there.
Champions
I'm
League
going
and in
there.
the league.
Do you know why he's the hottest? He's been linked with some of the top clubs in Europe this transfer window. He could actually get the move this window or next
By
transfer
the way,
window.
Hakimi is owned by Real Madrid, and that's the biggest club side in the world.
Well, he doesn't play for them
He
as
plays
we
for
speak.
another top team in Borussia Dortmund.
What-
So I don't think if it's about players or clubs being linked to the Osimhen, I don't think Madrid have been linked with Victor Osimhen.
Well, some of the other top clubs in England have been linked with Osimhen, and this is why. I mean, they
I
just
don't
don't.
doubt Hakimi's club side.
You don't just link a player overnight.
I
You must
agree.
have done something
And
exceptional.
they've seen his goals.
Exactly, and they've seen the potential.
played
And
in
you're
the
talking about the
Champions
young player
Oh yes.
of the year. Hakimi has done
He's
well, no
21,
doubt.
yeah.
But who is more talked about as we speak in world football? Definitely Victor Osimhen. He left Real Charleroi, destroyed all the records.
Yeah.
Came to Lille. We thought
Yeah.
it was going to be difficult for him to replace Nicolas Pepe. He started like a house on fire.
Yeah.
And he's done well so far. Now compared to in fact, I think Hakimi should be third behind
Chukwueze.
behind Chukwueze. Because Chukwueze also had a sterling season for Villarreal. So I don't understand, and I'll never understand how they arrived at that decision. But
Let's
Victor
look at it this way.
Osimhen
Let's
has
look
had
at
a
it this
better
way.
year.
Let's look at it this way. How many games did Victor Osimhen play in the Nations Cup?
Yeah.
How many games did Ashraf
He
Hakimi
played the
play
entire chance
for
they got knocked
Morocco
out, yes.
in the
AFCON.
AFCON?
Until they got knocked out. Yeah.
All right, he's a regular fixture in the Champions League, no less. And you can't compare Borussia Dortmund
To
with Lille
I agree.
in terms of
But
stats.
has he been playing regularly for Dortmund in the Champions League?
Yes,
and
he
were
has.
Dortmund actually in the Champions
Yeah.
League apart from this season?
Yeah. Last campaign, Dortmund were in the Champions League. Hakimi actually.
Do you even know the biggest surprise? Sorry to cut you.
No,
The
go
biggest
ahead.
surprise
Go
is
ahead, please, before we
that
go on a break,
a
yes.
defender actually went ahead of strikers who
Two
scored the goals
strikers,
week in,
yes.
week
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Victor Osimhen has always scored goals, still scoring goals, even for the national team. So how a defender would win it ahead of the attackers is what I do not understand.
All right, fair enough. Then Cameroon were awarded African Women's National Team of the Year. The African Cup of Nations winners, Algeria, taking the men's honor. Jamel Belmadi, who guided Algeria to the AFCON title, was Coach of the Year. And Desiree Ellis, she was surprised to actually win it, winning the back-to-back Coach of the South African national team. She won the Women's Award. And the next controversial, which takes us into the break, is the African Best XI, First 11, as we call them. Andre Onana, undisputed, one of the best on the continent, if not the best. Achraf Hakimi, Borussia Dortmund and Morocco. Kalidou Koulibaly, and arguably Africa's finest centre-half. Joel Matip, question mark for me. Sergio Aurier, Riyad Mahrez, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Hakim Ziyech, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Ona, I come to you. It's an XI voted by players, so we've got to mention this.
Yeah.
But how do you have Aubameyang at the expense of qualifier top scorer, Nations Cup top scorer, or Johnny Gallo?
It's a little bit controversial. Not
The
having,
players don't know football.
You know, but then, as I told Seraphina moments ago, just before the show, that look, yes, it's understandable why this is controversial, but it is also understandable why Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang should get in there. And you know, as far as these
Tell me.
things. Voting is. I mean, he has the high. I'm going to revert back to pedigree again.
Okay.
I mean, as far as strikers at number 9s are concerned in the African continent, it doesn't get better than Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
Hard to argue. Yes.
Hard to argue. He was
Yeah,
also
yeah.
the joint top scorer in the Premier League last
Alongside
season
Mane and Salah,
as
yeah.
well. And then I was
Great
also
point.
making this
Yeah.
argument with someone. I said, okay, what club does Odioni Gallo play for? At that time, the person couldn't even mention. So he had a stellar performance on the continental level. And perhaps after the break, we'll argue whether or not that would say enough to have gotten him into that team.
But was that enough? That's the question I'm asking you. That was just player sentiments. The African players who voted for this XI know Aubameyang more than Igalo.
It's controversial. It's controversial.
So if you're going to take anyone out, who would it be? I think I'll kick out Joel Matip and Idrissa Gana Gueye
in place of
Didi and Truce Tekong. That's my player. I thought Truce, not much talk about his performances for Udinese, but Truce was almost impeccable at the AFCON.
No, I don't think Truce should be in the argument for me, but you could understand making a case for Wilfred Ndidi, who does the business week in, week out for Leicester City, and who played really well for arguably Nigeria's best player
at the AFCON.
The AFCON. But then again, you find Idrissa Gana Gueye in that Senegal team.
Plays for Paris Saint-Germain.
Plays in Paris for PSG, and if he gets the nod ahead of Ndidi, it's totally understandable.
Is it, Ayo?
In a way, but you don't use the clubs that these people play for to judge.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, Idrissa Gueye just started really playing for PSG.
He left Everton.
Left Everton. It wasn't even in Everton. It wasn't. I like him. Don't get me wrong. I wanted United to buy him. He's one of those that you think he's 29. He costs 28 million pounds or whatever it costs.
Yeah.
And it's a decent player, but is he actually better than Ndidi? Because he plays for PSG. PSG have some rubbish footballers. PSG waste money sometimes. They do. So I don't know. It's not a disgraceful decision like the one I call the disgraceful decision. So one of the two, fair enough.
Okay,
or maybe two of them should have been there, and maybe they would have gone three at the back. And no Matip.
Yeah, no Matip. Yeah,
because this thing is not.
Matip
Doesn't have to be
Cameroonian
formation.
Is almost non-existent.
Yeah.
So his selection, as I mentioned, the players don't watch football as much as the experts, quote unquote, do, but. That's why, when a friend put up a tweet and said, Emmanuel, just, don't go with the emotions and scream why isn't it not there. Just try to inform the people who follow you. And I said, I understand the sentiment that the players make this decision, but again, there's certain awards that have got to be left for technocrats, people who not only see the game from a fan view, but also can dissect it. And awards like the XI, the best 11, cannot be sentimentally attached.
No,
it can't be sentiment attached to it.
Let me quickly give my opinion on the award ceremony. 4 names are actually controversial.
No,
but
4? I don't think we have
for me, 4.
Okay.
4 names are Sergio Aurier, Joel Matip.
Aurier was awful 2019. Pathetic.
Gana Gueye and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
How did he get there?
Yeah,
Champions League
final. Yeah, I'm coming there, and they are all controversial names. Like we've all mentioned, we've mentioned these names already on the show. But the most controversial has got to be Joel Matip.
Oh, yeah.
Number 1, they call it Africa Best 11. This guy doesn't even play for Cameroon anymore.
He refused the invitation the year Cameroon won the African Nations Cup.
And it's a Nations Cup here. That's number 1. That's the biggest scam. For Aubameyang, I can make an excuse for Aubameyang because
he's Africa's best number 9.
He finished top scorer in the Premier League, joint top scorer in the Premier League last season. That is a lot.
So they've prioritized the Premier League to the AFCON. That Igalo finished top scorer.
When you look, you do know what's killed Igalo, not
the Chinese club, like you mentioned.
The club he plays for. It was always going to be a factor. It's affected almost everybody who go to China. Is like a non-league is better than China.
Then you retire.
Exactly. So it's always a factor. But for Wilfred Ndidi, it's shocking that he didn't make the list. And I'm not going to talk.
He's on the bench,
I think he's overflogged.
He's on the bench.
Yeah. Imagine for Gana Gueye, who played for Everton
and PSG.
Idrissa Gueye.
Yeah, who played for Everton and PSG last year. But like you also said, however they decide this stuff,
the players do it.
It's almost unbelievable. See, how how can a reasonable human, a human being that has heart, that goes to the loo, that has fingernails, hair, pick Gana Gueye over Wilfred Ndidi? I don't want to overflog it, like I said. Wilfred Ndidi he had a beautiful season for Leicester and the Super Eagles of Nigeria in 2019.
Yeah.
This man is a beast in the midfield, and he doesn't make the list. And for Sergio Aurier, for Sergio Aurier, in fact, on the list, he's not even playing right back. Hakimi is right back. He's left back. Why I can make a case somehow for Sergio Aurier with the poor year that he had was because you can't even find a better player to replace him with. And I think that's why he made the list, maybe because of the non-availability of players.
You can't say non-availability of players. They're players.
Yeah, which player?
Players,
which player?
The players from Algeria that go to the finals.
So
they're players from
left back,
from Nigeria. I might not, at the top of my head, I might not remember the name of the Moroccan left back or the Egyptian left back or the Timbuktu left back. Do you understand? I might not remember.
There was a year for the World 11 that I saw Marcelo, and I'm like, no, Marcelo wasn't exceptional this year. But who else was better than Marcelo in the year? That's why Sergio Aurier got into the list this year.
I'm sure I can guarantee you, if you give me 5 minutes, I will bring out 5
So
names
anybody but Sergio Reyes.
that were
That's
better
what
than
I'm saying.
Sergio.
Anybody. Irrespective
Sergio
of where they play. I know it shouldn't be there, but who should replace him is what I don't know.
Listen, this thing, we've forgotten that sometimes a novelty pick. It's not. They're not going into a real game.
Yeah.
So you can actually pick
3
at the back,
Yeah.
5 central midfielders, whatever you want.
It doesn't have to be a formation
It
of a
doesn't have
football
to be a
match.
formation that of you're going into a proper football game.
Yeah.
Just pick a formation 0-0-11 and get the jury out of the team. Basically.
You don't have to pick a defender because you have to pick
Just
it.
before we go on that break, Ojebalu Samson on Facebook says, "Good evening, Femi and the gang. I understand the argument quite all right. Valid topic if a debate can be bettered out honestly. Sadio Mane deserves the award. Mahrez was a star to reckon with, clearly outlined the pitch right from Leicester triumph. Let's be clear, Sadio Mane was a clear winner. Thank you, guys. Actually says, good evening, Femi and the gang. I would say kudos to Mane and Azizat, but I'm not happy Ndidi wasn't listed. Someone is asking Bola a question. Rashidi Yakini won the award previously based on country or club. He needs clarification on that.
What year did Rashidi win it?
Can't remember the year. Rashidi.
1994 or 93?
So to get confirmation,
it
was in Portugal then.
It was in Vitória Setúbal,
Yeah, in
was
Portugal.
1990.
So he's asking the performance based on the club side for the AFCON.
For Rashidi Yakini, definitely for the national team during the qualifiers and for his club in Portugal.
Yeah, he was brilliant in Portugal.
Because I think that was the first time Nigeria qualified for the World Cup after the 1993.
Yes, so the 93 qualifying games, Nations Cup and World Cup, he was scoring a lot of goals.
By the way, go ahead on that quickly.
Yeah, just to point out some of the other inconsistencies that I was just about to make the Idrissa Gana Gueye argument that after the tournament, the AFCON, he didn't make the CAF team of the tournament. But there you have it as well, that you have Odion Igalo striking at the team of the tournament, and he's nowhere to be found
the players
at the CAF Awards. And then the Egyptian Mohamed Salah was not also in the CAF team of the tournament, but he makes this. So lots of
Salah is one of the most famous players in the world. Let's go on a break. When we return, we'll leave the continent for a bit, and Manchester United fans, I promise not to be harsh. But we'll talk about what went down at Old Trafford and the updates concerning Paul Pogba.
Labile, put his middle name.
The surgery he's undergone, and a bit of gossip. Chelsea are interested in signing Crystal Palace with Zaha, and it's outrageous fees. I don't know what you're thinking. Or some would say, well, yeah, okay, I can't say that over the radio. That's it, you've said it. Let's go to break. We'll be back.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's V Money from Tanzania, and you're cooling with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.